I made a quote that says, "To forget, I forgave. Self-respect comes with age." Sometimes you have to forgive people in order to forget that pain, because the pain will keep you in that past, and the past is where you don't want to be. If all we have is the present, you miss out on the gift. That's what's called the present, right? You missed out on the most beautiful gift that we've had, is the present moment, because you're focused on a past situation or you're anxious about something that's to come. Don't worry. Don't worry. What's up, y'all? It's Akinola, and today I got another banger of a book to review. Today we have The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, a practical guide to personal freedom. And if you guys haven't noticed, on my YouTube page, I have an underlying theme of doing book reviews on self-help books, spiritual books, and just books that are transformational. And so I rebought this book, and I just finished it. Another amazing book, a very easy read. I don't know if all the other spiritual books have the underlying theme of awareness, but awareness is key in making changes in your life. And as simple as it sounds, I mean, it's not as common sense as some people may think. I mean, to be aware is to be able to have the power to change your life and transcend or ascend to your higher self. So from birth, we are told what to do, how to feel, what to believe in, who to trust, who to stay away from. Those ideas that we agree to is what made us who we are. But who we are, or who we claim to be, is not actually who we really are, because we've made agreements in our past that don't align with what we actually feel. So the introduction of this book goes into the domestication of the human and how our minds are warped, and all the chaos and all the drama and all the negativity and all the stress and everything that the world experiences as a collective that shaped our perception, basically. And so that was the introduction. But then it goes into 4 different agreements that you can adopt to discard that old perception of yourself and the world and establish a new perception that is more aligned with who you are and what you believe and how you feel and how you want to live your life, free from bondage, free from old ways, free from old lies, from lies that we believed that were once true that were never true at all. But these lies had such an influence and an impact on our emotions that we acted out on them, and we may have even hurt people, and we may have even put ourselves in compromising situations that prevented us from moving forward, like losing opportunities because our attitudes are poor, and it's all based on lies. So this book makes you reconsider the things that you once thought were true, unlearn those things, and replace those things with things that you believe in, that have a solid foundation, that build character, that align with your truth of who it is that you are. So the first agreement is be impeccable with your word. And basically what that is be aware, be mindful of the words that you use when you communicate with others and the words that you use when you communicate with yourself. Like, you don't want to have negative self-talk. That's not what you want to do. If you're seeking a way out and to be more spiritually enlightened and free from bondage, self-sabotaging, you want to use words that are speaking life into the universe, that are speaking life into yourself, that's speaking life into others. You don't want to insult somebody or be insensitive to somebody because it's socially cool to, insult somebody and to have this kind of image of being an asshole. Like, that's not what it means to be impeccable with your word. You want to make sure when you use your words that you use your words in a loving way, in a kind way, in a joyful way, in a way that creates a colorful world for yourself, creates love. You know what I'm saying? A loving space, a loving environment, a place of happiness. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go overboard and be somebody that you're not. You can still operate within the means of, with the idea of who you want to become. But it's really about being mindful of those hurtful and negative things that could potentially change the course of somebody's life and the way they see themselves and the way you see yourself. Like, for example, they gave an example of how the daughter, the young girl, she just sings, she loves to sing. And then one day her mom just had a bad day at work and she was stressed out. And then her daughter kept singing, and it got on her mom's nerves, and the mom was saying mean things to her that the daughter took to heart, that she agreed to, that reconfigured her mind and her perception of herself, and it changed the way that she behaved to the degree that she just stopped singing altogether because of what her mom said. Every time that she would reflect on the things that was being said to her, she could always hear her mom saying those mean things about her. Oh, your voice is ugly, you should stop singing it. Even me saying it right now, I feel hesitant to say it, but that's the truth of the matter. It's like when we say harsh things to people, oh, you're fat, or you're ugly, you're stupid, we don't necessarily know how they perceive us and how they value the words that we say to them. So we got to be mindful of these things. These people could be little children that look up to us. They could be other people that look up to us or see us in a high regard, or we say something that they wouldn't even expect us to say, and it hurts them, and it makes them feel bad about themselves. And if they're not aware, if they don't have knowledge of self, and if they don't have an awareness of their worth, they're going to take these things to heart, and it could do a lot of damage to them mentally and emotionally, and it have a effect on a relationship between you two. So be impeccable with your word is just being mindful of the things that you say to yourself. I am a great person. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Things like that is what's going to continue to strengthen your self-esteem and continue to generate that emotion of love that you have for yourself and that you have for others. So the first agreement is to be mindful of the things that you say and be impeccable with your word. Remember, the tongue is like a two-edged sword. It could be used for life or it could be used for death. You choose wisely. Don't take anything personally is the second agreement. And this is an agreement that I actually agree with. You know, on my personal journey, I remember plenty of times when I used to just get angry when people would do even the silliest things, like even the smallest, the tiniest things. But I realized I was really frustrated because I felt like I wasn't in a position to be happy. You know what I'm saying? For me, being happy means being successful in everything that I'm doing. I'm a Capricorn, so you know I work hard, I'm determined, I'm focused, I'm ambitious, I gotta get things done, I'm serious. I do have a joking side, but when I don't feel accomplished and things on the outside of me are annoying me, my emotions show. And for quite a long time, I used to let a lot of things get me upset. I used to take a lot of things personally, and it's not necessarily a healthy mental thing to do, because what it does is it puts a lot of stress on your mind, and you come outside of yourself and you're not focused on you anymore. You become focused on the environment and all these different factors that you can't control. And so you just take the energy that you could have used to be productive or creative or expressive in a positive, loving, joyful way, and you just direct all this venom, negativity, toxic behavior towards whatever it is that's frustrating you, and then you deplete your own self of energy, and then at the end of it all, one, it wasn't worth it, and two, you're not productive, and then you just continue this vicious cycle of being unproductive and angry, unproductive and toxic, unproductive and negative. It's not a good thing. And also it ruins your day. It ruins your mental. Like, you want to have a clear mental mindset each waking day. That way you can use the energy that you really have to produce. You're a producer of society. You want to be somebody who is showing, growing, learning, expressing. And to do those things, you're going to need your energy. You're going to need your vital life force. And to waste it on things that are just out of your control or just quite honestly not even worth it is a waste of time, and it's a huge disservice to yourself. So don't take anything personally is the second agreement. The third agreement, don't make assumptions. This is something that many people speak about. I've heard this from many different speakers about making assumptions and how it's not wise to make assumptions. And it's not wise to make assumptions for various reasons. The most obvious being is you're wrong if the truth actually comes out and then you look foolish. And so you got to be mindful that to make assumptions about things that one doesn't have enough information about can put you in a stressful state of mind. And you can imagine the damage that does. Imagine you're in a relationship with somebody and you'll speak every day, and then one day they don't call you, and then you go online and then you see that they posted up something online, and you're like, hey, this person didn't call me, but yet they're on social media socializing. I wonder what has got their attention. Why are they more focused on entertaining other people and then instead of focusing on the relationship? So instead of taking the healthy approach and hitting that person up like, hey, what's up? You were supposed to call me. You didn't check in. What's going on? You start thinking all these different type of things in your mind that could possibly be a scenario. And the truth of the matter is that's not even the case. And so you create all these different scenarios that affect you. And the problem with that is, again, when you agree to those assumptions, you believe it and it becomes your reality. Now imagine if what you believe is not real. What it's going to do to your reality? It's going to hurt you. It's going to affect you in a negative way. And that also is what's going to affect how you see the world. If you constantly keep assuming these different things that are occurring because you're used to things happening, you're used to people knowing you and what to expect from you and what you expect from others. If you assume that these people are going to continue assisting you in these ways, you're going to be let down. You're going to be disappointed, and it's going to change your perception of the world. If you don't have all the information, the most healthy and mature thing you could do is ask questions. So the fourth agreement is do your best. Always do your best. And that's an agreement that I've lived by for many, many years. Always do your best. I even shared it with my mom. Like, all I could do is my best. She even reminds me from time to time. I remember one time you told me that all you can do is your best. And it's true. That's all you can do. That's all you can offer this world is your best. Go that extra mile. If you got it in you to do it, do your best. That way, when you look back, you can't say, oh, I left certain things undone, or I left a little bit of space here, or things could have been different. Things could always be different, but if you do your best, you can at least be proud of the work that you did establish and accomplish, and say, yeah, I have enough dignity to be proud of this. I did my best. Even if you come up short, you won't be kicking yourself and saying negative things to yourself because you did your best. I did my best. You play that one basketball game where you're down 30 at the half, and then you come back second quarter, you drop 15 buckets, and then the fourth quarter you drop another 15 buckets, but you don't win the game. You lose by 2 points or a point. You're gonna still feel satisfied. They're gonna go to the locker room and be like, yo, we was down by the half, our spirits were low, but this player right here, he dropped buckets after buckets after buckets, and he got us within 2 points of the game. That's a victory in itself. You did your best. Even when you go home at night and lay your head down to rest, you're gonna think, man, I didn't win the game, but I really did bust my ass. I really did bust my ass. That's gonna give you more life. So always do your best. After all the agreements are done, what it does is tells you how to break those old agreements that you had. Breaking those old agreements that you had is looking at all the things that you've learned, at all the things that you've ever known, and if they don't align with who you want to become and what you want to see in your life, you get rid of them. It might not be easy to do, but if you use these 4 agreements while trying to break those old agreements, then you will see some success. It might not be today, might not be tomorrow, but eventually, at some point, you will start to develop a habit of being impeccable with your word, not taking things personally, not assuming, and doing your best. It's just going to be a natural thing. You can transcend beyond that pain, beyond that drama, beyond that negativity. You have to combat the victim. You have to combat this parasite, this judge that says, oh, you're not going to make it, or, oh, that habit, you're not going to break it. You have to challenge it head on and be like, I can make it. I'm going to make it. That habit, I am going to break it. I have broken it. You have to challenge yourself every day. You have to show up for yourself every day and challenge yourself to break those agreements that do not help you, do not assist you, do not propel you forward into your greatness. You have to break those agreements. To break those agreements means that you apply new agreements. And once you break those agreements, you have to replace those actions or those things, those behaviors that you're used to engage in, with other positive reinforcing behaviors, so that you can continue to develop new experiences and new relationships with yourself and other people. Like, take the day to appreciate what's around you. Like, I'm grateful for waking up in the morning. I'm grateful for having breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm grateful for even having a bed in a house. Say something positive about somebody. Like, you just keep adding on to it. So I'm grateful for waking up. I'm grateful for having food. The next day, oh, I'm grateful for having people to talk to. I'm grateful for friends. Oh, you look beautiful today. You have a beautiful smile. Oh my God, you're so smart. Not people pleasing, but just creating the world that you want to see. People love compliments. People love when you tell them that they have a beautiful smile. Oh, you look good. Oh, that cologne smells nice. Oh, you look nice in that dress. People love that stuff. Basically, life is a reflection of who you are. Like the energy you put out is the energy you're gonna receive. And at the same time, I want to help somebody too. I want to help somebody else to see the light. Like it says here, imagine living without fear of loving and not being loved. You are no longer afraid to be rejected, and you don't have the need to be accepted. You can say, I love you, with no shame or justification. You can walk in the world with your heart completely open and not being afraid to be hurt. Imagine living your life without being afraid to take a risk and to explore your life. You are not afraid to lose anything. You are not afraid to be alive in the world, and you are not afraid to die. It's basically just living your life. You know what I'm saying? I want to read more from this section. It says, imagine that you have permission to be happy and to really enjoy your life. Come on now. Imagine that. Imagine that you have permission to be happy and to really enjoy your life. Imagine that. You have permission to be happy and enjoy your life. You broke all those old agreements. You've adopted 4 new agreements, 4 solid agreements that resonate with you, and you're happy. You're happy. Every day. You look at misery like, oh, that has nothing to do with me, because that's not where I'm going in my life. But you could still help a miserable person by unlocking their mind and giving them a book like this. Oh, check this book out, bro. 4 Agreements. Imagine living your life without fear of being judged by others. That's a big one. That's a huge one. Fear of being judged by others. That's huge. That's a lot of people in the world. Like, people are afraid to be judged by others. But you don't have to any longer if you change the agreements. If you look at yourself as who you truly are and not who other people perceive you as, or who other people told you you were, or what you once believed that you was. You break all those old agreements with yourself. I'm not lazy. I'm not stupid. I have a beautiful voice. I can sing. Every day you change those agreements and you replace them with new agreements. I am smart. I am beautiful. I can read. I sing lovely. I have a lovely voice. These are things that you have to say to yourself. Be impeccable with your word in order to transcend to the next level, in order to solidify those agreements with yourself. Imagine living your life without judging others. Wow. You can easily forgive others and let go of any judgment that you have. And that's one big key. That's a key thing. Forgiveness is a key thing. Like, all that past hurt and that past pain because somebody wronged you that you never forgot about. I made a quote that says, to forget, I forgave. Self-respect comes with age. Sometimes you have to forgive people in order to forget that pain, because the pain will keep you in that past, and the past is where you don't want to be. If all we have is the present, you miss out on the gift. That's what's called the present, right? You missed out on the most beautiful gift that we've had, is the present moment, because you're focused on a past situation or you're anxious about something that's to come. Don't worry. Don't worry. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the 4 agreements. If you have any book recommendations that are enlightening or in the lines with personal development, hit me up and I'll check them out. Other than that, I'd like to thank y'all for tuning in to another one. This was a banger right here. I would encourage everybody to go out there, get a book, get you a copy of this. Shout out to Don Miguel Ruiz for this masterpiece. With that being said, y'all, peace.